Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Disc Golf Examiner. Today, we're bringing you coverage from the 2021 Seth Burton Memorial. This is round 3 back 9 coverage. I'm your host, Brian Keegan, joined today by Jonathan Propalis. Props, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Brian. I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to watching this back 9.
That's right. So you're actually one of the people that we covered on this coverage, so I'm glad to have you with us. You give us some great insight. And we're just seeing Tyler absolutely crush it. And Corey is doing pretty good as well. So there's a 6-stroke difference there. But, you know, if there's anybody that you can't stop, it's Corey Ellis. He's going to come after you. He's going to go for these shots.
That's for sure. And we're playing to the red baskets, which are, they're still using the same pars that we had for the long pins. So there are some eagle opportunities out there. And Corey's going to be gunning for everything because, like you said, 6-stroke lead for Tyler.
And hole 10 here is pretty much a straight shot all the way to the basket. You do have a very heavily guarded, tight gaps to get through. But as Corey finds a tree there. But this is such a tough, it looks on video like perhaps maybe you have more of a gap, but it is a tight gap. A lot of people hit those first 2 trees, but if you get past those, you're pretty good for a long way.
Yeah, and this is a very downhill hole. You can see Brad throwing down that gap. And it's just you want to get your disc started on that line, and gravity's going to keep it going as well. So a lot of mid ranges and putters from these guys. I think that might be a buzz there from Tyler, but initial shot, just want to hit that gap like you said.
And if you get off to the left of this fairway, you can get into a really heavy wooded cage. There's really just no throwing out of this jail.
You see Tyler going forehand here, and he says if he has to go to the forehand, he doesn't really have anything, but he does a pretty good job to advance it down the fairway and still have a chance of getting up and down.
Corey's going to a knee. That is beautiful.
Very well done. Even without that tree hit, he's not skipping too far away from the pin. He'll still have a putt at it, but he's fortunate he doesn't have to work too hard for that putt. Tyler going forehand again.
Come on.
Oh.
And fortunate that thing sat right where it hit. That was a great shot.
That doesn't happen normally.
Not usually, but he caught a good break there. But threw a good shot, got rewarded.
Are you serious?
Oh, Brad is not happy with that one. I think he just went a little straighter than he actually wanted.
Very uncharacteristic for Brad. That's his bread and butter right there. So, but you give him that shot 40 times, he probably will hit it 40 times. And
it's a good eagle for you.
Yeah, it's getting us going in the right direction, coming off a slow front 9. And Tyler, even with that early tree hit, was able to still get his birdie on this hole.
And that eagle for Corey as well.
It's not the longest par 5, but there, again, if you're off the fairway, it's easy to stay off the fairway. It can be tough to scramble out of some of those spots on the left and the right side.
So hole 11 is a par 3. It's 341 feet. Plays out of this gap and down this hill. And this is a big ravine here. There's actually 2 slumps of the hill where the basket is on the left of this basket, right on the edge. So if you go down there, there's a good chance you can overshoot and go down into the ravine. It'd be really rough.
I don't even care. Holy. That's fine.
A lot of elevation change in a very short distance down there.
Yes, very tough pin placement as well. Just trying to hit the initial gap.
That's so perfect.
Just missed the gap on the right. But we'll have something to work with there. And Brad, with a beautiful forehand, and just goes a little deep. Easy, very easy to do. It's so downhill. Once your disc starts gliding, it's unless you hit one of those tops of the knolls there, it's going to keep going.
Tyler, I think, flipped that over a little bit more than he wanted, but he's a ways down there. Corey looking at pretty much nothing here.
You can see the basket to the right of your screen, all the way down on the top. You see a little red, and there it comes into sight a little bit easier. But without that tree hit, he's probably pretty close. But where he's at there, he's down in the valley there, and it's got about 45 feet up the hill, so it plays a little longer.
Tyler pitching up to the basket. That's going to stop.
Oh my
Good log. Good
Oh.
log.
Wow.
He would have had a little bit longer putt coming back, but I'm not sure how much more, but that was good logs. He doesn't have to worry about that.
He is getting all the love here on this back nine so far.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
And that was so good that you wanted to try it, right?
Yeah, I liked where he was at, so I figured, hey, he looks like he's in a good spot.
Corey here for his par.
And even though this is uphill, this is a death putt. If you miss this putt, it can sail past. But Corey doesn't miss that putt. He's dialed in.
He is all full go for it mode.
Where are you at, Brad?
Yeah.
Brad is going to do the smart thing.
He wants no part of that. He
Yeah.
did the right thing there. Yep. And par feels just fine on this hole. It's a very, very tough hole. So you don't want to be giving strokes away.
Shut up and it just saved you from taking a 4.
That just made it 3 easier, I guess.
Yeah, I can make putts too. You guys are idiots. All of you.
So as we move on to hole 12, it's a par 3, 249 feet. This one is a bit uphill, I'd say, right?
Absolutely. Plays a lot longer than 249. I know I'm throwing a 10 speed on this hole, but it's uphill for sure. You just want to hit that initial gap, and the next gap past this first one, and something moving quick enough will get you up there for a look. That's not bad. He's got a putt. He's right about 30 feet up the hill, so he's looking at it. I'm pretty much just 4 or 5 feet to the left of where Corey's at, so I'll have a look as well through some trees. And Brad opting for the forehand, and he said, "Miss it, miss it," and he knew it was heading right for that tree there, but he'll have a long look.
Tyler going to that lighthouse disc. Do you happen to catch which disc that is?
I believe he said it was a force. So Tyler's throwing just something you can just jam into the hillside and let it slide up there a little bit.
I know he was favoring that disc all day.
Yeah, he was throwing it well all over the place. Brad just a little right, but gave it a good bid from where he was at. The slope of this hill is pretty extreme, so makes putting, especially from in the circle, makes it even trickier. But not able to jump or fall forward. Corey doesn't care about any of that stuff. He just jams another putt. feels good to hit one like that when you've been struggling a little bit through the front part of the course. Just kind of give you a little bit of momentum moving forward. And Tyler banged that putt for a birdie as well. So 3 birdies and a par on this hole is pretty good.
So on to one of the most interesting holes on the course, hole 13, par 3, 445 feet. This is usually a separator hole. I see people throw down this gap, hit a tree, and bounce 200 feet into the woods, and there's no way that they're getting a 3 on it. So it's definitely something you want to throw something very straight and long, and it's all downhill. So
very steep grade. I'm not sure exactly. I think that's a putter. I want to say that might be a roach that he's going with.
that is his roach, yes.
Yeah. So he caught a little bit of stuff, turned him right, but he's got to look at it. And we're playing to the red basket again, of course, which is over to the right, and it's on quite a steep grade. I'm just throwing a kind of beat up verdict and just making sure I match the grade of the hill and just letting the disc work, and got a very, very good kick to kick me towards the bucket. So I'm just happy to miss all those trees. And I believe that was a zombie out of Tyler. Just turned it a little bit, but he's down there, and that's all you want. You want to miss all the trees in the fairway getting down the hill. It's a pretty tight gap.
I will say that this hole did average 3.58 par.
Half
So,
stroke over, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Your job is not done once you get to the bottom of the hill. It can be kind of stressful just laying the upshot up, and if you hit anything on the side edge, you're bound. Good possibility of rolling away. Corey's about 110, 120 feet away, maybe a little longer, but he sees the basket.
That's the kind of commitment, like, Corey just goes for these things, and he can make that.
He sure can. Absolutely. Yeah, he did mention after the round, he said that was the most aggressive I've played since I was just a kid. So
Right.
he was hunting strokes anywhere he could get them. Tyler just doing the smart thing, laying it up there, and Brad with a good layup from the left side. That's tricky. That's good angle control on his putter to get it to sit right there. With that aggressive run, it can sometimes lead to a little bit of meat left on the bone. And that's what Corey has here. Just missing left.
And Jonathan, this is for your birdie.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Fortunate to get that kick to the right down there, and even though it's only 20 couple feet, it's still a nervy putt because you just, the possibilities if you miss that, you're probably turning into a bogey, and it's just makes you think a little extra second for sure.
So it looks like only 8% of the field birdied this hole, and you're one of them.
Yes, I was not counting on that hole for sure. Never count on that hole, but just happy to be able to be one of the two. I believe Justin Worrell got that one as well.
So hole 14 is a par 3. It's 304 feet, and we just passed it there. A little bit guarded halfway up the hill there. And I think this is pretty much a straight shot. Hope that it skips up because you got a low ceiling and an uphill, shot.
Yes, yeah, that low ceiling definitely comes into play because the power you need to put on it to get up to that basket, you kind of need a little bit of height, or else you do that, you hit and just stick right at the bottom. But still, just hitting that gap is paramount and moving your way up the fairway. Very steep incline. It's pretty tough to get all the way up there. everyone did a pretty good job just hitting that initial big gap there and just giving themselves shots up to the pin, which is all you can ask for. Not trying to get too frisky with that one. Just get it close, get your par, and move on. This one, I'd be surprised if anyone birdied this hole. It would take a good putt or a throw in. It's pretty tough for sure.
Yeah, nobody did birdie it. It actually averaged 3.25 above par. Or I should say 3.25 average.
0.25 above par, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheating.
So we're going to move on to hole 15. It's a par 4, 392 feet. Plays uphill with a dog leg left and down through these trees. And the basket is right across this little aluminum bridge there.
This hole can be attacked a couple different ways. You can see a forehand. You can see. I'm actually going with the mid range here because I don't want too much fade to the left. And you see people throw drivers as well. However, when you hit a tree, you get a lot of fade to the left. It just kicks directly there, and that's what happened there. So held on to it a little bit too long. And let's see if Tyler makes the adjustment.
Yeah, that's actually going to come back nicely there.
Brad opting for that inside forehand route, and he'll get flex out, so finish on the right side of the fairway, which is ideal. You're looking down at the gap at the pin from that. And Corey goes the same play as Tyler, which is driver, throw it hard, straight, out the gap, and they can come backdoor hyzer, and you have to have good power to do that for sure.
And that is you throwing out of the woods there into the fairway.
Yeah, definitely didn't have anything there. And Tyler's got to do a little ninja stance here.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to affect his throw because it's kind of an awkward, and it just doesn't.
That was an incredible shot to get. That's all arm, and he's just squatting, and that's just that was well done. Even though we're playing to the red, I decided to park the orange, and so we'll have a fun little comeback putt there.
Brad with a nice touch.
Very, very well done.
Corey's on the other side of these bushes here, which is near the road, and he is going to pitch up, but that's going to bounce a little bit long. He should have a putt.
Yeah, a little quick on him there, but yeah, Corey's proven that he can make putts from kind of anywhere, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. That's a great putt.
Wow.
Yep.
Knowing where Tyler's at, he knew he needs to make that putt. This tournament is unique nowadays as they still have a final 9, and that's good catch there. Good putt by Tyler. They have a final 9, so there's some people vying for the 4 positions. So every stroke matters, and Corey knows he's still hunting Tyler, and he still has another 9, but he's trying to get a stroke everywhere he can. So
we're moving on to hole 16, which is a par 3, 340 feet, all downhill over that road, down into the ravine, and actually the basket is to the right side of this, back on the other side of the little stream creek there.
Yep.
Tyler's shot's going to actually end up over to the left. Sorry, there was a little bit of camera difficulty there. As Brad throws a sidearm. Ooh.
Come on, man. Just give me some
Tough kick.
Yeah.
Tough kick. And this is a very difficult hole. Again, very steep grade. It's very difficult to get your disc to stop when you want it to stop. So Corey's just going real soft on a roach.
Gonna get a skip down and through
Corey-
the pipe.
Corey's playing a little Dr. Mario, or playing a little Mario there, and just sliding through the pipes.
Got Super Discraftio brothers.
How about that? That's funny. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. Well, that's one way to get your disc to stop where you want it to. You just play through the pipe. I'm throwing an old beat up Cenis that's going to push a little straight, but they usually, when they hit the ground, they stop pretty good. But
Yeah, looks like you stopped right next to the sewer there.
definitely a fortunate sit that could have skipped 60 feet past. It's
Tyler with pretty much nothing here. Looks like he's going for something overhand. Let's see what he does. Roller.
Oh yeah.
Tyler took a couple seconds there getting into that lie, and Tyler's pretty tall, and he had to do some stretching to get that shot out. It's not a lot there. That was a great out shot.
Brad stretching out, trying to get to that red basket. Oh, bad tree kick. He's going to have a long look at it. Tyler still probably about 150 feet downhill.
That's a good shot. That gives him a 18, 20-foot putt there, so he should be able to stop the bleeding there. This putt is inside the circle, but it sure feels like it's a little longer than what it looks like, just because the uphill nature.
Yeah.
So just tricky footing as well. So happy to get that one in the bucket and get out of there with a birdie.
What are you using the putt, Jonathan? I didn't ask you.
Ooh. I'm using maidens.
Okay.
So I made the switch to those this year. If I'm putting from 45 or longer, I'm using a swan. They get a little bit of glide. Just keep going straight.
Tyler for bogey, I believe, here.
Yes, sir. And this hole can be pretty tough. As you saw, Brad had a little bit of trouble on this one. After that initial first kick, then it can put you into just scramble mode, and there's a lot of putts out here that are not your normal stance. A lot of elevation.
Yep.
So Corey grabbing 2 strokes on that hole on
Yep.
Tyler.
Closing the gap.
So we're going to move on to hole 17, par 3, 360 feet, uphill, dog leg left, and the basket is on the right side of this fairway there. Pretty, I'd say, standard, Heiser shot off the tee, right?
Yeah, people were either trying to hit that left gap or to the right of the tree up there. I prefer to the right of the tree because it just kind of filters you up to the flat spot. Corey prefers to go big and just hits a skinniest tree. Would have loved to seen where that one would have been. But he'll still be able to manufacture something from there. Even though I like the right side, I decided to throw a lazy Susie up the left side and got a good kick. Tyler with a great pull.
Holy cow, look at that.
That's ideal. It's giving yourself a long jumper at it, really. That's a good shot by Brad. Had the option for a forehand here, but like I said, if I can go backhand, I'm probably going to do that.
And right to it. Look at that.
I was fortunate. I was just looking to get a putt from there. And sometimes a course gives you no putt, gives you an easier one.
That tree kick is going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, he's about an inch off of just being parked there. So that was a tough break.
And you know Corey's going to go for it.
We had a slight left to right wind there as well. So once he got that up, it just kept pushing him. But he's definitely trying to throw that in. He's playing a very aggressive style, and this is all Tyler has for his. It was right around this point when I realized that Brad and I were pretty close, and like I said, there is a final 9, and we're teetering on the edge of being a couple of competitors that could make it into that. So it's definitely a little bit more pressure going on, and Corey just nonchalantly bangs that putt, and it was just a laser beam as always. And Tyler takes his birdie as well, and it's tough to make up strokes on somebody when they keep birdieing.
So the final hole, hole 18, is a par 5, 439 feet. And this is just a laser beam shot all the way down this gap. And there's the basket there. As far as what I've seen people throw, mostly sidearm. Sidearm seems to be the play here.
Yes, there's not too many options. I have seen Trevin Crow go backhand roller up the left side, and he's had success for that. But if you're throwing a backhand, it's definitely a tough hole. It sets up for sure better for a forehand. And Corey's, I think he's reaching for that Raptor.
And that's got the flex. Ooh. Oh, it's going to hit a tree.
Would have been curious to see where that one would have ended up. He smoked that one.
Well, I believe in the first round, Tyler got an eagle on the long to long here. So unfortunately, that first throw is going to kick down the hill. Oh, Brad's going to get 2 really good kicks, and he's on the fairway.
Brad threw a good shot there, and it's really tough to not catch a tree on that hole because there's on this hole. I'm sorry, there's quite a few trees out there. Tyler, not exactly where he wants to be, and he's just got to try and keep moving forward. Throwing a felon here. Ooh. Knew it was close. I didn't realize it was that close. Quite happy with the result, just to miss all those trees. That's a really good shot. With the slope of the hill like that, and he's going backhand, it's kind of wanting to pull him down the hill, and just to commit to that, that was a nice shot. Brad was thinking backhand, and then he went back to his forehand, which was a good decision. He's just so money with that shot, and he just hits the gap easily. He gives himself about 29, 30 feet. I believe that was Corey's second shot. So this is for 3 here.
Ooh.
A madman, just running everything. And so he's
Well,
left with a lot, and it's tricky too with footing.
Oh,
Don't
settle.
do it to him. Don't do it to him.
Oh boy.
So he still has just about as much distance and a tricky putt again. His footing was quite tough. But
Oh,
he's
huge save.
that's a big putt. That's a big putt.
Great eagle by you. Great
that
putt
was-
for eagle.
That was a big putt because that Brad's right there and we're tied, and so this is I knew I had to make that putt.
Oh no.
And that's just unfortunate of a miss right there at that time.
Tyler.
Brad had played so well this whole tournament, and as he always does out here. But great camaraderie on the card, and just a joy to play with everybody out there. It's hard to have a bad time when you're playing disc golf and you're in West Virginia on a beautiful piece of property. And
With
shout
good
out
company.
to the absolutely, and shout out to the Fairmont Flyers Club for all their hard work they did. And you can catch them on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Give them a follow for sure.
Yeah, we'll have a link in the description for sure. And hey, I want to give a huge shout out to Cody Bradshaw, who shot a lights out 54 on that course, long to reds, shooting the new course record. Once again, that is 54 for Cody Bradshaw.
Smoking round. Yep.
Seriously, ridiculously good round. So congrats to him.
Yes. Cody's gonna be there on the final 9 as well. So he played himself right into that.
That's right. So that's going to do it for us. So join us on the final 9 coverage of the Seth Burton Memorial. And until then, keep banging those chains.